On the ninth day of Axemas, my true love watched with me. Hey, and welcome to another 12 Days of Axemas. This time, we went out. Like we had said we were going to try and do, we went out to the theater to catch the latest horror Christmas movie, Krampus. Yes, Krampus. If you haven't seen it already, which it's quite possible, it's essentially about family, well, like society in general has kind of lost the love spirit of Christmas in a way, and it centers around one family specifically, and a boy who essentially he was like the last who had hope. And he was the last one holding on to Christmas, but then his spirit breaks and he gives up. And because of that, down comes the anti-Santa, Krampus, who literally is everything you think of Santa Claus, turn it evil. That's what Krampus is in this movie. Now, this film was directed by Michael Dougherty, who, you know what? I love Michael Dougherty because he directed Trick or Treat, which to me is now a new classic, a staple of Halloween, and a film I absolutely love. And I mean, the horror community in general has embraced that film. And we're looking forward to a Trick or Treat 2. We really are. Have you seen Trick or Treat? No? Definitely gonna have to show you that one. It's like an anthology type thing, but it's all together. And it's so good. So good. You'd love it. So, was really looking forward to this.
You were really looking forward to this?
Because it's from him. Because it's from him. And, you know, horror, Christmas, he did great for Halloween. I was like, oh, he's tackling another, I figured maybe he was going to be this holiday director, and, Valentine's Day would be next, and then Easter and Thanksgiving, and, President's Day, and whatever.
I don't think he was, bro.
He is. So, that's kind of what I was maybe hoping he would do. I mean, it's like, you think about it, his second movie's about Christmas, his first movie's about Halloween. What else are you going to think? But now I'm not so sure I want him to continue. Because, I don't know about you, I was not impressed with Krampus.
No, I wasn't either.
There are aspects of the film that I really liked.
Yes.
There are a lot of aspects of I really, really liked. But, as a whole, yeah, not so much.
No. And part of it, I think, for me, why I didn't really like it that much, is because I had seen that character in the A Christmas Horror Story, right? And that was the first time I ever even heard about that.
Okay.
I had no idea, right? And I felt that it was better portrayed in that than this. I liked it better in A Christmas Horror Story than this guy.
Okay, see, I kind of like this one, because this one uses Krampus, but it's not really the Krampus mythos of the actual Krampus story in this one. It is anti-Santa Claus. It's, yes, he comes down the chimney. Yes, he delivers toys. But he's not doing it to bring happiness. He's not doing it to, any of those things. He's got elves who make the toys. He's got, but the fact of the matter is he's evil. The elves are evil. The toys are evil. Everything's evil. And everything's out to get you. Essentially, instead of, delivering for you, he's delivering to get you. Because his whole point is he's coming to get you. And kill you. And eat you. And all sorts of stuff to you. And, yeah. Which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with that portion of the story. My problem comes with, and it's a matter of story. That's where I have a problem with this film. It's how it's told. because it doesn't seem to really have, to me, it didn't have that direction of, I really felt that me as a viewer, I had to kind of think about why stuff was happening more than I should have. You know, some of it's obvious, some of it, like, it starts off with a great, you know, Black Friday type scene. And that's obvious. I knew why that was, just from knowing what the movie's about. Mm-hmm. And then you get the whole family, and it's got this, which I didn't mind, a National Lampoon's type thing.
I was going to say that. Even with the stupid calendar. They did the same thing, did you notice that?
And, yeah, so there's a lot of references to, you know what, honestly, if I watched it again, I'd probably find other movies that there's references to, because A Christmas Carol does play on the television. So there's a lot of references to Christmas and Christmas movies and Christmas classics and stuff like that. And I actually kind of liked that about the film, but at the same time, I don't know, it never followed through with it. You know, you had the National Lampoons thing, but it was like, here's your National Lampoons, but then it's like, well, it's not really a comedy. I mean, there's some comedic moments here and there, but...
It wasn't scary.
No. There's a couple of attempts at some jump scares, but honestly, it felt very PG horror. This is honestly, I wouldn't have a problem with, you know, like, older kids watching this. It's not, you know, don't take your 6-year-old to see the movie or anything like that, but it's got some gross moments, but it's very much, I don't know, it had a very much like a Goosebumpsy type kills and stuff like that. It was just, you know, here's a monster, oh, the monster's eating somebody. Oh, there's their feet sticking out of the mouth, right? And you're like, okay, sure, that's cool, but there wasn't a lot of adult to this film. You know, the message is very Christmas. It's very much a family type film. Honestly, it almost is a family Christmas horror movie. Almost.
I just think it's even more funny than not funny.
What do you mean?
Because it's not supposed to be more funny or more scary. I think it's supposed to be both, and I just found it more funny than not funny.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
And I didn't want that. I didn't want it to be funny. I wanted it to be a scary movie.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like I say, it plays off like it's a family film. You know? It's a Scooby-Doo episode rather than, a scary horror film. And, yeah, that's not what I wanted from it. I mean, Trick or Treat is... I mean, it's mainstream. It's very mainstream. But it's really, really well done. This one, it's just... I don't know. There's... the whole telling of the story and why and all that kind of stuff. It just... there was no... I don't like the way it was presented in the backstory, and I didn't like how it developed and went through. People are just sort of dying, and nobody seemed scared. You know, stuff was happening, and you didn't get this sense of dread, you know, like, every time something goes bad, you know, parents, and it's the kids who are going first, right? And the parents are all like, oh, we've got to go get them. Oh, no, we can't go out there, we might die. And it's like, but... honestly, there was one moment of true parent flipping out and realizing, oh my god, my kid's in trouble. And it actually worked. Like, she goes balls to the wall and starts killing shit. All the other ones are just like, oh no, don't. Go. Oh, you got him. Oh. Oh, my kid's gone. Oh, I'm so sad. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, well, I better protect the other kids then. Well, you didn't do a good job protecting the kids that have already been killed and taken away. Like, yeah, I don't know. It's just disappointing. But see, I like the Krampus design. I actually like the other one from Christmas Story better.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this because he's very much like Santa Claus. Very much like Santa Claus.
I just think the other one, well, I can't remember now, but I think I found the other one more scary than this one. This
isn't scary.
It should be.
It isn't scary. Like, it's not scary.
That's why I didn't like him, because he wasn't scary.
He is. He's an evil Santa Claus. Like, the look of him, he looks like Santa Claus, except he's got horns and hooves.
He look like Santa Claus.
He had a full-on white beard like Santa Claus.
I didn't see a beard.
Yes.
Just a weird-looking face.
No, he had a crazy thing, but he had a full-on white like Santa Claus. Red. Everything was like Santa Claus. The elves were Santa Claus. You know, he's got toys. He has a sleigh with reindeer type things. He has to come down the chimney. Everything that you think of Santa Claus, this guy does, but he's evil. You know, so it's not jolly old Saint Nick, it's crazy Satan Claus. You know? And I kind of like the designs of a lot of these things. I like the designs of the monsters and such like that, but I don't know. And I was kind of hoping there's snowmen. And I mean, snowman shows up just as stuff is starting to go really weird, and you know, it's the first sort of clue, like, what's this, the snowman? Like, the family, there's a snowman out there. Who made the snowman? Nothing. But then you see more snowmen. And snowmen in other people's yards. And I was waiting for the snowman to come alive and kill somebody. But that never happens. No. And it's never really mentioned again that, hey guys, there's 7 snowmen now on our lawn. Why? And it's never really brought up in the movie ever again. But it is, they're constantly looking at these snowmen. Look out the window. Snowmen. Okay, great. You showed us this in camera. You talked about it earlier in the film. Why isn't there anything there? So yeah, that was, the snowman was one of those things in the film that was talked about, shown, but never fleshed out. And yeah, I kind of wish that there was more to it. Like, the backstory is, I like the way it was kind of told. It was a animated flashback in order to, you know, all the animated shows for Christmas and stuff. That's why it was done like that rather than actually do it.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like that?
No.
I kind of liked it because, obviously, like I said, they're trying to pick out pieces of traditional Christmas movies and such like that. But at the same time, it didn't make much sense. So, apparently Krampus goes around and kills tons of people, but then leaves one? For a really stupid reason?
I don't think it was a stupid reason. I think it was because she still a little bit believed or something.
I don't know. Like, who knows? But, yeah, it was just... I think that the whole film really wasn't fleshed out. There wasn't enough to it. And if they were just going for, you know, a monster film where things are attacking people, sure, that's fine. But if that's the case, then the monster attacks have to be awesome. It's got to be scary. Something's got to be going. It's got to have a little bit more to it. And yeah, I enjoyed the creature designs, but you know, when something goes and is lurking off in the darkness, it should be scary. There should be some sense of dread that, oh my God, at any point in time, this creature could come and get me. But you never really get that. You know, eventually something will jump out, but even as a jump scare, it didn't work. I didn't find any of the jump scares that were even attempted really worked.
No, not really.
You know? And then you had mentioned you didn't like the the subtitling.
Yeah, because so the grandma apparently doesn't speak English. Fine, right? So they had, when she would talk, they would have subtitles there. That doesn't bother me because it's not very much. So,
Yeah, normally it would bother her, but...
Yeah, but she didn't talk that much.
Yep.
So it was okay. But then she still would go on, and I guess it was German?
I think she was German,
yeah. And then no more subtitles. I was like, well, no, don't start with the subtitles and then stop with the subtitles, and I don't know what she's talking about anymore. Like, a few times, yeah, other people would translate, right? But not all the time. So I really, that bothered me.
Well, even then, it was... I get for the short portions where you're kind of supposed to understand what she's saying, even though she's saying it in German, right? Like, she talks about hot chocolate at one point. You're like, okay, I get she's talking about hot chocolate. That kind of stuff I get. I even would get the translating it if and only if it's in one portion where the people in the scene have to also know what she's saying. And I mean everybody. And that is the case to a certain extent, but then she speaks English. And it's like, okay, so at first you had subtitles so the audience knew what she was saying. Even though I don't think the wife spoke German.
No, I don't think so.
Right? It was just the kid and the father spoke German. Or at least understood. So, though us as an audience got it, clearly nobody else in this film would understand what she's saying. For some portions, yeah, I guess it would make sense. You don't really want them to know.
Or also, maybe the mom, because it seemed like maybe the grandma was just visiting, but to me it seemed like she lived there, right? So when you're around people who speak another language all the time, you pick up on some things, right? So maybe she kind of, understood.
And even still, it's she's used to it either way, right? But then, you get this National Lampoon's other side of the family, kind of the Hicks, if you will, show up, and they clearly do not speak German. And yeah, I don't know. I really wish that they had kind of stuck with one way and another, but to have Grandma, who's essentially the person who knows about what's going on, speak in subtitles, speak as in being translated, and then speak in English, and then never really come up with any kind of solution or anything like this. It would have been like her big thing is to keep the fire going. But where did she even come up with that?
I don't know. I guess just so that he wouldn't come down. I don't know.
Right? Like, I don't know. It's for somebody who's supposed to be the expert on what's going on.
Like, why, if she knew this all this time, why did she never say anything before?
Well, that's the thing. Obviously nobody would really believe her.
Right.
Because even after stuff is going down, and she tells the backstory of what's going on, still, a good half of the people there are like, you're crazy, Grandma. But at the same time, she is clearly there as the expert on what's going on. She's lived through it before. She should have some extra knowledge. Her only bit of knowledge that she extends to everybody in this film is make sure the fire's going. And yet, everybody attacks from outside anyways. The only person who comes down the chimney is technically Krampus. Everybody else could have come in any other way because they did. Mm-hmm. You know? So, yeah, her solution really was a non-solution when it comes down to it. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, her character, I get why it's there, but I don't think it was used the way it should have been. And it was essentially didn't need to be there at all, because her information that she gave, the only reason for her to be there, the only reason for her to be a German-speaking person is to give this account of who we're dealing with, but it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It's supposed to mean something. If I give you a backstory about a monster, that's supposed to come out with, oh, well then, let's figure out a way to stop it. Let's figure out a way to kill it. That's not here. No. It's just like, this happened to me as a little girl. Great, Grandma. How is that supposed to help us?
I'm wondering if she thought at the end, you know, whenever she would see him, maybe she thought she could just talk to him and fix it or something, and then everybody would come back.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was... yeah, and that's another thing. Some of the scenes, like this one here that we're talking about, we're not going to give it away, but it's one of those scenes where you're not really sure why. I think it was I'm old, I'll buy you some time, which is kind of the way they played it out. But like you said, it's like, it's not really there because, you know what? German-speaking grandma just says, I love you, go. And you're like, most of the time when somebody does it, it's like, go, I'll buy you time. But no, every single person from that point on was...
That really ticked me off. They're supposed to be running and, okay, I get it, there's like deep snow and stuff, but they're like, they keep waiting and looking and it's like, do you want to die? I don't get it. Like, even they weren't scared, right? It's just like, well, I'll take my time here.
Well, that's it. That's essentially it. It's like, these are... like, there's so much in this movie that kind of, like, pissed me off. Because I get why some things were done. Because they had to, you know, have some bonding moments, have some stuff like that. Where people who technically would have been out of character were never, you know, the character that you thought they were or everybody else thought they were was never who they really were. You know, they were somebody else. And I get that. Those portions made sense. But then other times you're just like, okay, you've established all of these, almost everybody in this film is established, other than the kids, as being competent at defending themselves. Yet, it essentially, they all get their one moment, and then it's just like, oh, moment's up, you're dead. And it's like, but why would you spend that time establishing this for no reason? No reason at all. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. It's like, there's a lot of stuff where you're playing out characters and caricatures and you get it, but if they're only being played up as a reference to something else and they have no reason for doing it in the film itself, then it kind of seems pointless. If you're playing up the National Lampoon's aspect of it, then play it up. Make it so that's what they are. You know? Play that as a comedy. Play it out. Like, have them be that bumbling person. If you're playing up, you know, the aunt, I don't know why she was the drunk aunt, but maybe it's reference to something. But if she's constantly drinking, then don't make the joke just her drinking. If every scene she's in, she's drinking, that woman has to be, like, really blotto. So when it comes down to it, she's got to have some great blotto scenes. She's got to have some drunk moments. But she never has any. You know, there's so many things in this where it's like missed opportunities. And I don't know. It was a letdown for me. Very much a letdown. I'm really disappointed. But I went into it, obviously, with higher expectations than I should have.
Yeah, but see, and I didn't. I didn't even watch a trailer or anything really.
Yeah, neither did I.
So, and normally I would have, and I was still disappointed.
Yeah. But you were going for scary.
Yes, because it should have been scary.
And it could have been. It could have been. I mean, I think the whole aspect of the beginning where they're starting to come and kill the people could have been scary.
Mm.
You know, as usually is the case with the ghost, any type of ghost film or any type of scary thing, it's the lead up to the reveal where you don't know what's happening and anything could be lurking around the corner. That's usually the scary part. No, this was filled with very cute killer gingerbread men.
And I think that was the only thing that I liked about the movie.
Was the killer gingerbread men?
Yeah. I'm not kidding.
I like the Jack in the Box.
No, I did not, because I'm terrified of Jack in the Boxes in the first place, just the regular ones. Because you don't know when that thing is popping up, and I can't take that.
But one thing I did find interesting about this, you remember what the last movie we watched was?
Yeah.
About killer toys?
Yeah. So
And then we come into this one, and what was the thing is, oh, I really wish the toys had been better. And then, hey, we got our wish. We got our wish. These were some killer toys.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were crazy. I don't know what that winged thing in the attic was supposed to be, but
Weird.
it was weird. But yeah, you want a killer teddy bear? That was a killer.
Yeah.
That was a killer teddy bear, and I think the other one was supposed to be a robot. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Something like that.
I don't know what was under the snow.
No, but they had that even in the Christmas Horror Story for the Krampus thing. It was the same thing, under the snow, remember? So that's something to do with him.
Maybe. But yeah, the gingerbread men. And the gingerbread, they were probably the funniest part of the movie, right? Like, though there was supposed to be all this other comedy, clearly set up, never delivered, at least the gingerbread men did.
Yeah, they were funny.
They were cute, and when they weren't cute, they were kind of.
But
and then by
funny.
doing that, when you take, well, it's like Shrek. They reminded me of Shrek, Gingerbread Men and Shrek. When you have him, and then he goes,
But
it's like
cute,
that.
so
It's like that, right? And there are the one where the guys in the kitchen and they're on fire and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff you could see coming.
Yeah.
But some of them still delivered. And that was one of those scenes. But yeah. I'm not giving this a recommend. And I'm going to guess you aren't. But that being said, what would you give Krampus as a rating?
Oh, probably higher than you. 2.
No, I'm about the same. I want to go 2.5 simply because I like design elements in here. The house was nice. The location was nice.
That bothered me though. Oh, anytime something happened to the house, I was thinking, oh no, how much is that going to cost?
If you start thinking like that, the film is clearly not doing a good enough job because you're just like, oh man, that's going to cost a lot to repair.
That's what I was thinking, seriously. And it was such a nice house. I was thinking,
It was a very, very
no.
nice. It was a very nice location. And you know what? I will say that I enjoyed the outside, the winter. I think
because we have no snow.
Well, yeah, we don't. But I like the way they did it because normally, you have it's either really, really fake, or it's done in actual snow. But this was not.
No.
This was a combination of fake with digital effects and everything, but it still came off as being. Maybe it's just because the film has this general fantasy, dark fantasy type feel to it, that even though it's like, non-realistic, it still worked and felt kind of realistic at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the way they did the outside and how it was, felt cold. It looked cold. The snow seemed like it was snow. Everything just seemed like it was really well done. But at the same time, aesthetics of a film can only get you so far. And though I thought the acting in general was good, I honestly, it's the story and the directing that or maybe even the editing. I don't know. Maybe there was stuff there and just the editing killed it. But
I don't know. Because see, yeah, you said you wouldn't recommend it, right?
No.
And I wouldn't tell somebody to go see it either. And this is the thing. Even though, with the Silent Night, Deadly Nights, they were not like my favorite movies or anything. But I would still say, like, for the first one ever, to watch it. Because there's those moments in there. And it's like, oh, you got to see that, right?
Yeah.
Whereas this movie, it's like, no, there's nothing really that you have to see.
No, there isn't. There really is. Like, as much as like I said, I like the design, I like the monsters and stuff like that. You know what? There are other movies that have very, very similar designs and looks as those. And if you want to see what the Krampus looks like, you can get a picture of him online. You don't need to see the movie to see him. So, yeah, I know there's people out there who probably love Krampus. Probably love it. But I was just disappointed by it. And I'm not basing my rating on the disappointment. I'm basing it on the fact that the reason why I'm disappointed is that the rating I'm having to give it. Because if I had been able to rate it higher, I would, but I can't. It's just not a good telling. It's not a good telling. There's potential there, and I like what they were trying to do. I just don't think the follow-through was there.
Comparing this, though, and the one from the Christmas Horror Story, right, that little section.
Yeah.
Which one did you like better? The Christmas Horror Story? Or did you think that part was just...
Well, Christmas Horror Story had 2 Krampus stories, technically. Mm-hmm. Right? Are you talking about the family one?
The family one, yeah.
I would say that one was better told. Very much so better told.
Yeah. That's why I didn't...
Than this one.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Had I not seen that, then maybe I would think, oh, this is the first time I'm seeing this kind of thing. Maybe I still wouldn't like it, but I don't know.
I don't think that would have changed. Like, even if you say something that's better, like, we both really liked A Christmas Horror Story. Mm-hmm. Like, really liked. Total recommend.
And I would even say to buy it. That's how much I liked it.
Yeah, we will own it. That's for sure.
See, I do like things.
But it's not a comparison. I'm not looking at this going, oh, well, they did it better in this. Because, that was just a short story. Even if you condense this down, honestly, you'd end up losing the stuff that it's actually good. The good stuff in the film would be the parts that you'd end up having to cut out, because then you're just left with the story portion of it, and the story portion was terrible. It was not well told. Not that the story concept is bad. The story concept, I think, is good. The story itself and the way it was told, not so much, unfortunately.
And I'm just really surprised that this actually got released in theaters, because I just didn't like it so much.
Well, it's funny because I don't know why it was released in theaters, because there's also another Krampus movie that went direct to video, Krampus the Reckoning, that came out just, I think, this week.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that, but I saw that. Yeah. And
A Christmas Horror Story didn't go to theaters.
No, and that so should have.
But what I think may have happened here, and I could be completely wrong, I'm just making this up, but it's a thought, was Trick or Treat did not go to theaters. And it went and it blew up, like, on video. It blew up to the point where everybody was seeing it. They were like, this is the movie. You have to see this movie. And everybody who saw it in the festival circuit was like, oh, I can't wait for this to get a theatrical release because I'm going to go see it. I'm going to tell all my friends. We're all going to go watch it. It's going to come out at Halloween, and it's going to be great. And then nothing. and they blew it. And that being said, you've got the same director coming back, and he's doing the Christmas Horror Story now, and can't make the same mistake, right? You gotta cash in, and you have to admit they made the money. They made their money on this. It was number one at the box office when it came out. It beat everything, right? So it wasn't a bad idea to release it to theaters. I just you could hear it in the audience when we were leaving. They all were like, "Why did we see this?
Yeah,
Who picked this movie?
The dumbest movie I ever saw." I was like,
Yeah. They're admittedly they were teenagers, but you would think this would have been
that's
geared
what I
towards.
thought, right? I thought they would have liked it more. So I was surprised when that guy said that. I was like, "Oh wow, okay."
But
good.
yeah, clearly, whenever you say who was the one who picked this movie, and nobody wants to fess up to it, yeah, that says something. And considering that was your target audience, and yeah, nobody wanted to stick through the credits. People were trying to get out of there as soon as possible. I mean, even the house lights came up before the film was over. The theater turned on the lights, being like, "Guys, it's not getting any better. You might as well just leave now."
They should have issued refunds at the door. We're sorry.
Honestly, I would. Yeah, it's. And you know what? I know there are people out there who really like Krampus.
We're sorry.
And I've seen the videos, and I've watched them, and I've been like, "Oh, I didn't want to watch too much. I just wanted to, did you like it or not? Because I don't want you to give away any spoilers and such. So I didn't watch the videos all the way through. But I know there's people who liked it.
That's weird.
And was it today or yesterday? Even on Facebook, a friend of mine posted a status where he's like, Krampus is now a new holiday, Christmas watching mandatory in my books. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. So here I am with all of these people who are really enjoying this movie. Great box office, numbers coming in. And then
I would not watch this again. Never mind every year. No way. You know what would have been great? If A Christmas Horror Story got released at this time, that would have been nice to see it at Christmas.
Yeah, which I kind of hoped for, but didn't happen. So, yeah. We've given our ratings. We've given our non-recommendations. Post down below if you agree with us or if you think we are completely out of our heads.
No, you don't need to do that. That's
no, do it. I want to know who out there actually likes this movie. And tell me why. Tell me why. What is it that you like about this movie that gets it so that you overlook everything else? Because it's got to be a doozy.
Yeah.
It's got to be a doozy. Because, yeah, even though, like I said, I like the look. But that isn't enough.
You have to have brains behind the beauty.
That's right. She's going to hit me for that one.
I'm not hitting you.
Unless she thinks I'm the beauty.
Are you saying I don't have brains now?
She didn't get it.
Well, that's nice. What is that? Oh. Listen, I may have lost a few brain cells from watching, okay? So, I have to gain them back.
Yeah, gonna have to read a couple of books to get that back. Holy smokes. Anyways, guys, we're off on a tangent. We're rambling, so let's cut this here, because, yeah, there's nothing else to be said. Till next time, take care. Good luck having a good one after this one.